Hey Racer fans, it was a tough week for Murray State on the road as they suffered road losses at SIU Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois. But the good news is the Racers continue their trek this week for a possible West Division championship in the Ohio Valley Conference. That takes us to today's Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. We've got highlights and reaction from the entire week of Murray State basketball, plus a look ahead to the Bracketbuster Saturday against South Dakota State. The Racer Report begins right now. Hi folks, and welcome to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Dave Winder here in the CFSB Center, and by the time we get to Saturday, it's going to be a big game for the Bracketbuster. Let's set the stage for the week, but first the Racers have to hit the road for a key road game Wednesday night at Morehead State. That'll be a 6 o'clock Central Time tip. It'll be on Racer TV and also ESPN3 and the OVC Digital Network. And then on Saturday, the Racer fans could come out and see the Bracketbuster, the final doing of the Bracketbuster as the Racers welcome in the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State University. It's a 7 o'clock tip here at the CFSB Center, and that game is going to be on ESPN2. Well, we're sitting here today with head coach Steve Prohm. It's been a tough week for the Racers. They dropped back-to-back road games at SIU Edwardsville, lost Thursday night 65-60, and then Saturday a 79-70 loss to Eastern Illinois. And Coach, you and I have just been kind of sitting here trying to figure things out. What have you been able to figure out of the two games this week, and how do the Racers move forward and try to get the ship back on track?
Well, we just got to defend better. You know, everybody can talk about offensive woes all they want to. Our program's been at a high level the last 4 years because we've defended at a high level. We've scored off our defense. We've got easy baskets. We've been tougher, and we physically dominated our opponents. In this weekend, we didn't do that. Credit both those teams. I knew this road trip would be tough because anytime you go into conference, road trips are tough. But, you know, we didn't get it done, and we got to have a good week of practice and get ready for Morehead to finish up a 3-game homestand. Well,
you know, because of the Bracketbuster, a lot of teams are playing Wednesday night, so that cuts down on your preparation for Wednesday because you normally would play Thursday.
Yeah, we got to get, you know, after this show now, I go back home and watch a lot of tape on Morehead and spend the day watching them because we have to be ready to roll on Monday in preparations for them. But, you know, it's really not even preparations for the other team right now. We just got to keep working on getting Murray State better and on the defensive end of the floor, and then offensively, you know, trying to play at a better tempo, get the ball inside a little bit more, get to the free throw line. I think we're a better basketball team when we do that.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's go ahead and roll the tape and look at it from Lance Arena on Saturday at Eastern Illinois. This was a day where the Racers had lost the Thursday night game, so it was a quick turnaround to try to rebound. But there in that first half, Coach, the Racers were down by 4. Early on, Isaiah Cannon hit his first three at the 9-11 mark. The Racers were down by a point. Then you had an 8-2 run there about the 6-minute mark. Wilson hit a 3, Moss hit a 3, 8-2 run. But then it's kind of what you've been talking about. You guys had the 8-2 run, but then bam, they come back with a 7-0 run, and you go down at the half by 5.
Yeah, we just got to figure out ways to defend better. You know, we've got to guard. We've got to try to turn some people over. We've been able in the past to do it with just great half-court defense, great toughness in the half-court, and we're not doing that right now. And we've got to be able to do that, not give people second chances, not give people such good looks from 3 or back cuts. We just have to play our rules and our principles a little bit better, and we got to continue to rep that.
Well, so the Racers are down by 5 at the half, 31-26. Then in the second half, right off the bat, you're down by 12. I didn't sense any panic in the team. You still got a lot of time left, and you guys played some good basketball there. What did you tell your team? Let's say that first media timeout. What were you guys trying to do?
Just trying to compete at a higher level, trying to defend and get some stops. You know, they got some easy baskets to start the second half, and you know, getting down 10-12, that's not a big deal. That's not. I shouldn't say it's not a big deal. It's just not time to panic and and put the panic button. But you got to play with sense of urgency. You got to get stops. Then you got to be efficient on the offensive end. And you know that game was a little misleading. I know we shot a ton of three-pointers, but we couldn't guard them with a big lineup. So we went small to try to get back in the game. And you know we're not comfortable in a four-guard lineup offensively because you know 3 out of those 4 guys are really jump shooters. You know, and so everything is just spread out. You know, in that regards, but even when you're playing like that, you still got to roll to the basket and look to throw it inside some.
Well, I didn't really realize it had happened, but there from the 14:21 mark to the 9-minute mark, I think it was, 7 of Murray State's 8 field goals were threes, and the Racers kept chipping away. They were down by 4 with 9 minutes to go, and as a matter of fact, Murray State hit 15 threes in the game. The school record's 17, and the Racers did set a school record with 39 attempted threes. But there, with 2:41 to go, Daniel got that rebound slam. You guys cut it to 2, and I really thought, okay, here's where they're going to take over the game. But from that point forward, man, it was just tough to score. The Racers were outscored 13-6 to the final, and there were a couple of big plays there where you thought you had buckets. Yeah,
the biggest thing is I went back big right there. I went back with our big lineup just to try to, you know, execute a little bit better offensively and not settle for jump shots down the stretch. And it ended up hurting us on the defensive end because we gave up a back cut and we gave up an and one, and you know that's just a learning situation for all of us.
Okay, well there you see the final 79-70 and some of the stats from the game there as well. The Racers now coming back home here to regroup and to head to Morehead State Wednesday night for a 6 o'clock game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. When we come back, we'll show you highlights of the Thursday night game at SIU Edwardsville. We'll do that next on the Racer Report.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State athletics.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Yeah! Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Hi folks, welcome back to the CFSB Center. Dave Winder with head coach Steve Prohm on the Racer Report. We're going to roll the highlights now and take a look at the Thursday night game, which was a 65-60 defeat for the Racers at SIU Edwardsville. And this is a game too where you ran into a very determined opponent. You ran into one Saturday and you also ran into one Thursday night as well.
Well, anywhere we play, you know, because of our success last year and the national attention, you know, and really it's always been like that though here is the celebrations are bigger now when people beat you, but yeah, everybody's going to be, you know, everybody's going to be ready to play us. You know, we have to have our best game each and every night because of who we are and because of the success we've had, and we weren't able to do that this weekend. And credit Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois, they were prepared and they had great energy and they did a great job for 40 minutes.
The Racers made it to halftime in the Edwardsville game, up 30-28. You saw a a good run in there. Midway first half, the Racers were up by the score of 24-17. That was a 9-0 run, Coach. I thought there in that first half, you guys were maybe getting ready to get up double digits, and you know, I thought the whole night would have been maybe a little different had you been able to do that.
Well, we're up 24-17. We're up 24-17, and you know, have opportunities, 2 or 3 opportunities, I think, watching the tape, to go up 9 or 10, and you know, whether it was my decisions or decision making on the floor, we didn't take advantage of it. And then we have we get lost defensively and give up a standstill 3 to cut it to 4, and you know, we struggle to score for a little bit, and they end up tying it up. But that was a big stretch. We had 2 big stretches in the first half, up 24-17, a couple possessions to go up 10, which I thought would have maybe knocked them out a little bit. And then the second half, we were up 37-32 and had 2 or 3 possessions to get up 7 or 8. And weren't efficient on the offensive end.
Yeah, that was the 37-32 was with 17-18 to go in the game. And then even if you go down to under the 7-minute mark, there was a key point there where Chris Davis hit that corner 3 with 6:12 to go, and that put you down by 8. And when that shot went in, I thought, uh-oh, we've got a problem here. This might be kind of tough to come back from.
Well, it just gave them great confidence. That's when they went up 8. That's when they had confidence, I think, that they could win the game. I don't know if they believed,
right,
you know, until then. And then when they made that shot, but you know, it was a breakdown on us defensively that gave the open 3 in the corner. And you can't have those breakdowns, but you got to defend with a sense of urgency, and then you got to be efficient on the offensive end, getting the ball inside, finishing, and getting to the free throw line.
And then, of course, the court gets stormed. And which goes to what you were saying a minute ago. The celebrations are bigger right now.
Well, yeah, everybody, you know, last year's success did so much for you know, for this program nationally, just to let people aware of how good this program's been. That's what I said all through last year. That's the best part about it. It let everybody know how good this program's been. But because of that, now this year, you know, we're judged at a higher standard, and everybody's excited to beat us. And you know, we have to be ready every single night, and I've got to do a better job getting them ready, and then they've got to do a better job preparing and competing.
Okay, well, we're going to take our next break here in the Race Report and come back and take a look at what has happened the past week and where the Racers go from here. We'll do that next on the Race Report with head coach Steve Prohm.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Murray State Athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max, you can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have 1 drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Murray State tradition. We are racers.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Coach will join us again in just a moment, but as we've taken a look at this very odd week for the Racers, back-to-back road losses to Edwardsville and Eastern Illinois, you'd have to go back to the end of the 2010-11 season to find the last time that the Racers lost a road game to a team with a losing record, and that was at Southeast Missouri State. And of course, that was kind of the loss that kind of led the Racers into losing into the OVC semifinals, and then losing in the NIT eventually in Billy Kennedy's last season. So now here's a recap to how the whole week worked. It was a strange week as the Racers dropped back-to-back road games at Edwardsville and in Charleston. As the Racers come off this amazing week in which they lost 2 road games against teams that they had handled easily in games in the past at home, it was an amazing week indeed. On January 17th, Murray State beat Eastern Illinois 70-49 at the CFSB Center. 2 days later, they handled Edwardsville in front of the home fans by 9. In both instances, the Racers managed to get good, if not excellent, stretches of defense, and they knocked down the shots when they had to get them. But this week, the Racers summoned the plays but couldn't get them in 2 losses away from home. The shots just wouldn't fall. Now Thursday, Murray State held the Panthers to 41% shooting, but could only manage 39 themselves in a 5-point loss, including a tough night from 3-point range, 3 of 16 for 19%. Now Murray State did have 2 20-point scorers in Stacy Wilson and Isaiah Cannon, but those 2 were a combined 3 of 11 from 3-point range. So then moved to Saturday's game at Eastern Illinois. The Racers never led after the 4:46 mark of the first half and trailed by as many as 12 points in the second half in Charleston. Now Murray State made some shots. They made a bunch of shots in the second half. They were 11 out of 24 from 3-point range, but Murray State gave up 61% from the field to EIU in the second half. In both of these games, the Racer comebacks never yielded a possession in which Murray State had a chance to tie or take the lead. The resulting 2 losses means Murray State missed out on a chance to clinch the top seed in the OVC's West Division. So with 3 league games remaining, the stakes are high as Murray State plays at Morehead State Wednesday night. Murray State is in rare territory indeed, having lost their last 3 road games for the first time since 2007 and 8. Murray State dropped the game at Jacksonville State by a point on January 26th, and then the 2 this week to the Cougars 75-70 on Valentine's Day, and then Saturday a 9-point loss to the Panthers. Murray State now 18-7 overall and 9-4 in OVC play. So the last time that Murray State lost 3 straight road games was 07-08 we mentioned. Murray State lost at Sanford December 20th, and then at Chattanooga in their tournament 74-50. And then they lost at Eastern Illinois January 3rd of 2008. That was in overtime. By the way, the Sanford game was the infamous Travis Peterson 3 at the buzzer. Actually not, because the clock with .4 never started, and you know how that went. The EIU loss was Murray State's last at Charleston before this week. That was the Tyler Laser game where the then freshman hit the Racers for 27 points. So all 3 road losses have seen the Racers struggle from the field. Take a look at it here. Murray State shooting only 40% in those 3 road losses, while Jacksonville, Edwardsville, and Eastern Illinois combined to shoot 45%. Murray State's only shooting 30% from 3-point range in this 3-game stretch, while the opponents are shooting 43%, and the Racers have been outscored 59-30 from the free throw line and only went to the line 8 times Saturday at SIU Edwardsville. So it is an interesting look at what's happened with the Jacksonville game and then the 2 games this week. But Coach, you and I, we look at stats all the time. Basketball is great about that because you can look at stats for different things. But when you get right down to it, like you said, it's on the defensive end right now. I think where you're trying to find that mix to be able to effectively stop the other team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the defensive field goal percentage, 45%. That should be 39. That's our goal, to be in the 30s. You look at defensive 3-point field goal percentage. We were one of the best in the country last year, in the 20s, and that's where it should be, in the 28, 29 range. 43% from defending the 3-point line in our 3 losses. That's unacceptable. And then just not getting to the free throw line on the road enough. Just
it was only 8 times Saturday.
8 times Saturday, 15 times a game, basically each game. At home, we got the line in 25, almost 30 times. I think against Tennessee State, we shot 29 free throws. We're rebounding decent, but we're not scoring enough. We need to be, I want to be in the 70 to 75 range. But when you look at those defense stats, then you look at the offensive stats to where you're shooting 40%, and then you're shooting 73 threes, and some of those, Eastern Illinois inflates that a little bit because we had to play 4 guards in stretches to get back in the game. But still, most of these guys' shots are coming from the three-point line, and we've got to be able to put more pressure on the basket, and that's either getting it inside, that's driving the basketball. It just can't be settling for jump shot threes, open or contested. I mean, we've got to have guys that can be able to put the ball down, get to the basket, and make a play.
Well, I know that was the one record you'd rather not set is the attempted threes. You don't want to set that record.
That's a bad record.
Yeah.
I don't want that record.
Yeah.
We've set a lot of records over the last couple of years. That's not one that I'm excited about.
Yeah, that's me either. So we're going to take another break here, come back and take a look at the OVC and the schedule ahead. We'll do that next on the Racer Report.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have one drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Morehead State tradition. We are racers.
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Morehead State athletics.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max? You can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Hi folks, welcome back to the Racer Report with head coach Steve Prohm. Dave Winder here at the CFSB Center, and let's take a look at the schedule ahead for the Racers. A quick turnaround this week for the game at Morehead State. That's a 6 o'clock tip on Racer TV and on ESPN3. And then it is the Bracketbuster game Saturday at home against South Dakota State on ESPN2. And then it's the final 2 chances for Morehead State fans to see Isaiah Cannon and Ed Daniel. Their last 2 home games, February 28th against UT Martin, and March the 2nd is the last regular season game against Southeast Missouri State. Both of those games on the OVC Digital Network, and then we'll be heading into the tournament. So, Coach, take a look at the standings here. First in the West, the Racers still need that win to clinch the top seed. And over in the East, the other thing that kind of was ironic, I guess, about Thursday night is Tennessee State beat Belmont and really kind of opened the door for the Racers to get back in there. And but so it was kind of a crazy week in the league, wasn't it?
Well, I thought when the season started, I thought 14-2 would probably win the league. That's what I thought the goal this year. That's what I thought would win the league. 14-2, maybe 13-3, but I really thought 14-2 would probably win the league. Fortunately, you know, if we can regroup and finish well down the stretch, we'll win the West Division, and we'll be in the semifinals to where we need to try to win 2 games in Nashville. And winning the first game Friday night is the most important thing. But I'm not even worried about that right now. What we need to do is go to Morehead State, compete at a high level, win, lose, or draw, just max out as a team. And if we do that, sometimes in losses you can grow or you're getting better even though you lost. I don't think we did that this weekend. But that's why I told the guys that we go to Morehead, we're going to max out. Whatever the score is, I'm not worried about. Let's just max out from an effort standpoint, a defensive standpoint, an offensive execution standpoint. We got a lot more basketball to play, so you know everybody's got the biggest thing right now is everybody to rally around each other.
Absolutely, and I know the Racers are going to do that. All right, so our final break here from the CFSB Center. We'll come back and wrap it up with head coach Steve Prohm in just a moment.
Like the thoroughbreds we are named for, Racers are spirited and proud. We have the heart and will to succeed, to go farther, learn more, and embrace wisdom. We are champions who take our place in the Morehead State tradition. We are racers.
I'm not that drunk. My house is only down the street.
I'm the most sober one here.
I only have one drink.
According to studies, 25% of 21-year-old college students have admitted to drinking and driving. Almost every 90 seconds, someone is injured. Every day, 28 people die as a result of drunk driving. Don't be selfish. Don't be a statistic. Don't drink and drive.
That's the worst half of football I've ever seen. Are you telling me we can't do this?
I got this, Coach.
You know, people said, Pepsi Max, you can't get maximum Pepsi taste with 0 calories.
Who said that?
But Pepsi Max didn't listen.
We just delivered it. So get out there and taste that sweet 0-calorie victory!
The little guy's right.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste.
Do you validate parking?
Roof Brothers, a Paducah tradition for 100 years. Roof Brothers, locally owned, family run. Roof Brothers, the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits found anywhere. Roof Brothers, service from selecting that special beverage for that special occasion to a keg party at the lake. Roof Brothers, 2 locations to serve you. Roof Brothers, proud supporters of Morehead State Athletics.
Back here to wrap it up with head coach Steve Prohm. And Coach, you know, I'm with you on every game. Man, I feel for you guys when things don't work out. But, you know, no one's going to feel sorry for you. You understand that. And you got to go back to work this week, and I know you guys will.
No, I'll go back to work once I finish this TV show. You know, the thing is, you know, as a head coach or as an assistant coach, and I was an assistant coach here for a long time, for many years for Coach Kennedy. You know, as an assistant, you're in a support role. And trying to make sure you take care of the players. As a head coach, you understand. You know, you're 31-2. Everybody's going to agree with what you're doing. You're 18-7 is still a good record.
Yeah.
But you know, you lose 2 in a row on the road. Everybody's going to, you know, doubt you. But you know, I don't doubt this team, and I don't doubt what we're doing. We just have to be a lot more efficient and compete at a higher level. And it starts today in preparations, watching tape, and then it goes on the practice floor on Monday. And you got to take the good with the bad sometimes, and you can't live in peaks and valleys. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to work, and we're going to be ready to go on Wednesday, and we're going to represent this team and represent this program the right way Wednesday night in Morehead.
All right, Coach. We'll look forward to that. Good luck. Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
I'll see you on the bus, and we'll see you next time on the Racer Report. As we leave you today, here's the voice of the Racers, Neil Bradley.
12:27 and ticking. Pass right side to Moss. To the baseline, it's Daniel. Pass to the left. It goes to Fields. An open look 3, and he hit it. Good to see Dexter Fields making some shots. He has 8 points, and it's 48-42. 10:31 to go. The lead is 8. It's been as many as 12. Ford at the top, at the free throw line. Finds Dexter Fields. 3 in the corner is good. Fields with a hot hand in the second half. 3 threes. He has 11. It's 50-45. Ford, left side. Moss, catch and shoot. 3. Got it on the wing. Racers has really started to light it up from 3-point range. But, Paul, we mentioned those are the only shots they're getting, but they're hitting them now. They're within 4. Out top, Wilson springs for a 3 and hit another one. 17 points for Wilson, 55-51. Cannon looks for room, drives in for the little leaner from 10. It rattles off, no good. Daniel gets it to Cannon. Wide open for Fields for 3, and it's good. 4 threes in the half for Fields, and it's 66-62. 3:12 to go. Can the Racers get a stop? Akers, right side, Piper. Deep on the wing, Woods. Woods looking, dribbles, hands it off to Akers. Akers dribbles to the free throw line, knocked away. Daniel can't get it. It's thrown out and picked up by Fields. Off to Cannon. Cannon, stop and pop, 3, no, tip, slam dunk! On the tip by Daniel, and it's a 2-point game.